everyone, I'm Rebecca from My Darling Cupcakes, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make these frosting roses. These have been such a thorn in my side for the longest time, trying to figure out how to master them, and I finally did. I'm so excited that I'm going to show you guys how to do them. You're going to need a piping bag, or you can substitute a Ziploc bag. You're going to need a cake piping tip. For this one, I'm using 1/16, which kind of does this little S curve in it. It's wider at the top and thinner at the bottom, but an acceptable one is one of these two. This is going to make a smaller rose. This is going to make a larger rose. This is tip number 125. You're going to see them. They come like this, and they're numbered at the top. So again, this one's 1/16, and this one's 125. You can pick up either one at the craft store. I'm going to use one of these nails. Again, these you can get at the craft store. They're like $1.50. Your cake tips are maybe $1.50. This is a number 7 flower nail, and it's kind of pointed at the end of it just like a nail is, so you can actually take a piece of styrofoam, which I highly recommend, and sticking it into the styrofoam and letting them cool into the fridge and let them set up. Also, if you really don't want to purchase that, you could use just a glass, the back of a glass. I would recommend refrigerating it for a little bit so it's really cool. But these, they're so cheap, so affordable, and they are so easy to learn on because you really want something you can twist. So I'm going to get started here and show you guys how to use this. I've taken some frosting. Now, you may remember in our last episode I showed you guys how to make some store-bought frosting. You can use that for this, but I would recommend thickening it up a little bit, maybe adding a little bit of powdered sugar to make it super thick. Or you can always cheat and go to your local grocery store and ask to purchase some of their cake frosting. Little known hint, they usually actually sell that to you. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I want to have my wide end facing down. I'm going to take my cake end, or my little nail, and come in and squeeze the bag and twist. So I started out that way, so I got a really wide base. Now I'm going to flip it so my thin end's on the top. And I'm just going to go through and make nice even strips. You want to do this about 3 or 4 times, depending on how comfortable you are. So you don't want it to get too high, because you don't want it to fall. So we're like that. Now I'm going to come in, and it's just a simple counting system. I'm going to swoop up, 1, 2, 3. So you're starting from the bottom and coming up top. Now I'm going to do another layer, and I'm going to count 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you already see the rose forming. Now, if you wanted to transport this, and it's a little bit warm, a little bit at room temperature, ideally you want it to kind of cool off a little bit before you transport it, but because I want to show you guys how to do this, it's a fun little trick I learned. Take a pair of scissors, open it up just a little bit, come in, pick it up, and then I'm going to come in, I'll just use my finger because I can fix this. Switch that in there. I'm going to wipe off my finger. Now you see it's kind of a little bit of a deformity. Normally if you were to finish the flower, you'd add another layer, but I'm actually going to add it on here. We're going to pretend like this is our cupcake. Come in with my little side, add my bottom layer to it. So I'm going to add 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the last one right here, 5. So you see like that? A rose, really easy to do. I'm going to show you once more, and I'm going to finish it on this nail so you guys can see the whole product. So come in here, I'm going to flip it over so I get a nice wide base. Okay, flip the bag back over so you've got the small tip coming up here. Now this is my second layer, so that's 2, 3, I'm going to add one more layer, 4. So that gives you your rosebud. Now I'm going to come in and do a little number count here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, second layer. It's going to be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bottom row. See, I want to kind of cover up these imperfections down here, so I'm going to come in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one, 5. And you can always come in and smooth a little bit in here. And you see that? Perfect rose. Really good, really delicate. You can let that air out. You guys want to see that once more? I know for me I had to watch it several times. I'm just going to let this guy sit here. Use one of my needles. So once more I'm going to show you guys. Thick end come in. And the more you practice this, oops, didn't get as much as I wanted there, the easier it gets. Flip it back over so I've got my thin side. 1, 2, 3. So I've got a nice tower here. I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3. Come in once more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me redo that one. 4. And then cover it all up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. 5. Beautiful roses for your cake, and you can make these really simply, really easy with just these simple little tools you buy from the craft store. As always, you can find me on Facebook at www.facebook.com/mydarlingcupcakes, and stay tuned for more tips and tricks. And as always, if you have any ideas or anything you want me to try to do, just message me on Facebook and I'll make sure that I make a video of it. As always, have a great night.